Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Dameshek, Sports Contraption.
And we're off. We got no monologue tonight because Mike Dell said it was too funny. So instead, we're just going straight to show. Mike Dell, are you with me?
Jerry Parrish, what's going on? Big show tonight.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, big show. It's our big tribute to Dave Dameshek, Sports Contraption, the best radio show ever. And I think, do we have a special guest on the line right now?
We might. Let's check.
Oh.
Hello, caller?
Hello?
Dave?
Yes?
It's Dave Dameshek, everybody. Wow, look at that.
Oh, my God. I'm trying to wipe the tears from my eyes as I heard that show open there. Very nice. Wow.
Yeah, when was the last time you heard the big Sports Contraption opening theme?
Wow, I guess it would have been right around a year ago, about 53 weeks ago, I guess it was when we pulled the plug on it. Too sad.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been a year already, huh?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, we're really something. I was out there in Pittsburgh really trying to figure out if we were going to make the move out there, and then I had my wife, and at the time we had our little 6-week-old girl, baby Lemieux Crosby, with us,
yes.
And we had to decide. It was very difficult. Of course, the return to the City of Champions was excited me to no end. But anyway, yeah. So we ended up coming back to L.A. and we never made it. But we were coming back to L.A. to pack our stuff up and then make the full-time move, the permanent move back to Pittsburgh, PA, my beloved hometown. And we just never made it back into the car, and we ended up staying in L.A. It's crazy. It's been a year already.
It seems like, and the contraption was only on the air. When did it come on the air? Well, first of all, how long do you have to talk? Are you in for the duration, or are you in a hurry?
I got about 90 seconds. Well, listen, let's go another 3 minutes, and we'll see how it
goes.
Oh,
all right.
I'm in. I'm at least getting to. I heard. Speaking of Sports Contraption, I spoke on the telephone earlier today with one Mr. Popeye. So at least I was going to speak with Popeye for some good reminiscing there. But yeah, it was only crazy. We started. I think it was April 2nd of last year, and it was supposed to be. It was a wonderful scene. It was really a great thing. We started, I think, April 2nd, and Scott Paulson was the big time show. You know, he was 4 to 7, and we were 7 to 10, and we were supposed to. So it was the big launch of a brand new station, so on and so forth. And about 3 hours or so before our show, we were told, oh, yeah, Scott Paulson's not allowed to go on the air, so you're following basically nothing. So we knew that there were probably somewhere between 2 and 5 people listening to us on that first night from 7 to 10 on a brand new station, and I'm counting Mo Dameshek, my mother, and my old man in that, too. They might have been the only 2 people listening on the face of the earth.
Dave, I would like to correct you. I was listening that night.
Ah, isn't that sweet? Isn't that?
Yeah, I used to have a gig. I think I've told you this before, way back in the day. But I had a gig where I used to drive a shuttle van around a college campus at night.
I do remember that. I remember you saying that. It was always said that you could never call into the contraption.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. You were so kind.
Couldn't do it. Yeah.
You were so kind. You invited me because I remember I heard the show that first night, and I thought, oh, this is spectacular. I can't get enough of it.
It was such a bad show.
It was awesome. No. Don't believe it. It was great.
Well, first of all, Paulson was supposed to be on, and then he wasn't, so we knew that no one was listening to us. And when I say we, I mean, I guess me and in Los Angeles and Popeye back in Pittsburgh. This was. I don't know what what the setup is with you guys tonight, but I can tell from the production that started the show that it's infinitely better than what we had there. Listen, we did this show on an ISDN line, a little box thing, that allows you to broadcast from across the country. I was in Jimmy Kimmel's 3rd bedroom, in his house, doing on his ISDN line, back to Pittsburgh. I'd never met Popeye and didn't meet him for another 2.5 months. He and I had never met each other, and I was sitting in that bedroom by myself. Actually, wait, scratch that. Josh the Butler passed in and out of there, too.
Jimmy Kimmel's butler, Josh the Butler.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Josh the Butler. And, yeah, that was it. and we hit the air, and I didn't know what to do. I've never done a show by myself, let alone for 3 hours. And as we started the show, Popeye informed me, oh yeah, the phones aren't working, so don't try to go to any calls. So we couldn't do any calls, and we had also been informed that they preferred that the station liked philosophically. They didn't like me talking to the board op, which was Popeye. They don't like that. Of course, I like to talk to everybody who I can see or who I know is around, but I was told you're not supposed to do that. And then, as we got into it, I realized, only once we had started the show, did I realize, well, this is weird. Why haven't we gone to a commercial yet? When are we going to go to commercial breaks? And Popeye told me, oh, yeah, this is a new station. They haven't sold any spots, so we have to fill literally 59 minutes of every hour. They would drop one 60-second PSA in there. Over the course of, it was I had to basically talk by myself for 3 straight hours. It was unbelievable.
And you did a fine job of it, I should say. But I remember the public service announcements, and I remember everything. It was so great. And I was like, this show is the best show I've ever heard. It was awesome. And now the only reason we started this debacle was because when the Contraption went off the air, we were like, oh, I got to pay tribute to the Contraption. And we started this. And I remember the first show Jerry and I did. Jerry, what was it, a half hour we did or an hour?
Yeah, I think it was a half an hour.
And it was brutal. Trying to talk for a half hour? Good Lord. It was terrible.
Hey, I'm a chatterbox. I have no problem talking. And then all of a sudden when you realize that you're recording it or you're doing it live, it takes on a different sort of feel, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It changes everything. And that's why I was like, when I found out, back in those days, like you said, you were doing like 3 hours with no commercials, no guests, but basically nothing. And I was just in awe afterwards. And I was like, oh, my Lord, how did he do it? And so I thought it was fine.
Because we wouldn't plan anything. If we had tried, we wouldn't have been able to fill that much. We would just start talking, Popeye and I, we would just start talking and see where it would go on any given night. So, yeah, it was quite a thing. But may I say, Michael Dell, what a tremendous fan I am of you, of your work. Very funny stuff, whether it's even in small things, even in our in the ESPN show in L.A., you're in the baseball league. Even your comments on the message board, very funny stuff. Always solid gold.
Thank you very much, sir.
I just want to...
go ahead,
let me tell you, Dave, he gets all his material off of our baseball league. I usually type up something witty and
is that right?
And whatnot.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I mean, I can tell there's something underhanded about this Dell.
He's a hack.
Well, those kind words, I always feel bad that our team crushed your team in the fantasy baseball league the first time we played.
Listen, I thought this was going to be a nice time, and right out you start with the nastiness. Yeah, I couldn't be more ashamed of myself for my performance in the fantasy baseball league.
Yeah, the Cool Cats aren't thinking of
the Cool Cats are almost always playoff teams in football and baseball, so this is a humiliation in the first degree.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that maybe a little bit later, but I think we have another surprise guest on the line.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Jerry, do you have a caller there, Jerry?
I do.
All right.
Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Oh, it's the Ed, everybody. The Ed. How's it going?
This the hockey kids?
Yeah, it's the hockey kids. How are you doing, Ed?
I'm all right. You guys told me to make sure that you call because of Dave, and you're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff for the show and all that.
Yeah.
Big party.
Yeah, it's going to be a real big party. And the Ed, Larry's with me as usual. Larry's here. And also your buddy, the Dave. The Dave is here. Say hi to Dave.
Hey, he's in Pittsburgh?
No, the Ed. I'm in L.A., too.
Oh, you just on the phone like me?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. How are you, the Ed?
I'm doing all right. I called your show last week and talked to you.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. We talked for a while. It was nice. What's going on, the Ed?
I ain't doing much. What have you been doing?
Well, I've been moving. You know, me and my lovely bride and our little baby.
You got fired from the other show again? You gotta always move. You just move. Is your last name U-Haul? That's what it should be. You're always moving.
Dave, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Ed's been a regular contributor to our show lately. And a few weeks ago, he called in, and he compared you to the Ted McGinley of radio.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I am aware of that, Ed. Why, please, explain yourself. Why am I Ted McGinley?
No, you're the Dave.
Yeah,
But you said I'm like Ted McGinley, though, right?
Yeah, because I've been calling you, and you know, I never seen a man on a radio show that just go from show to show to show. And every time you turn on a show, that McGinley kid is on there.
Yeah, that's true. But listen, I appreciate the comparison. Of course,
Yeah.
it's like Stan Gable, the star quarterback in BMOC at the Alpha Beta House there in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm in your fantasy baseball league too, but I'm in the other side, and that's a ripoff. I'm telling you.
Why is it a ripoff?
Because I can't win. My team, these kids, I had a bunch of Cleveland Indians on my team at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They did so bad, I tried to call the Indians front office. They wouldn't put me through. Because that Travis Havner couldn't do nothing.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't hit the ball if you pitched it to him.
Yeah, I think they were pitching it to him, actually. Yeah, the Ed, I had Travis Hafner on my other team, and I had to cut him. But, the Ed, do you have Grady Sizemore? He's doing real good.
No, I had what's his name? Victor Martinez, and I had another, who was it? Listen to this, how silly this is. The shortstop, they say his name's Johnny, but he put his name J.H.
Yeah, Johnny Peralta.
That don't spell Johnny.
No, it does not. No.
Yeah, 'cause I had a friend named Johnny growing up. It was J-O-H. This kid got J-H-O. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah, have you been singing much here, too? Or you been singing on the podcast here?
Yeah, he has been singing for us.
That's one of my favorite things. You're very talented. I'm also, as I've always said, you know, I'm really impressed by a man of your age, how well you do with the ladies. But besides that, I really like your ability to sing some songs, too. Have you shared with everybody? That was one of the greatest things ever you did on the Sports Contraption. Was I really enjoyed? I mean, I don't want to laugh or you know, be entertained by your misery, but I was surprised to hear that a man who does as well with the ladies as you do, they hit you quite a bit. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think I just heard that. I was going through old Sports Contraptions, and I just heard that episode where the Ed, apparently you said you were hit in the face 3 times by women, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, 3 times in my life. And actually, I had a woman that I didn't even know. She hit me in the back of the neck at the bus stop.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, was that the one? Is she the one who threw the burrito at you?
It was a taco.
No, some kids came by one time in a car and threw tacos at me.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's one of my favorite stories, the taco.
But that's ridiculous. I mean, why would you waste tacos like that? It don't make no sense because people got to eat. You know, people are always hungry. I'm always hungry. We got barbecues going all the time.
Yeah,
a lot of people
over for one of those. We got to get Dell and Larry to come out.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes I think you're just a big talker.
Why? What do you mean?
Because you always say, "Oh, come on down to the show. I got tickets for you," and nothing.
I never told you I had tickets for you, first of all, but I have invited you. It's not my fault that you and your friend haven't. We got our signals crossed a couple of months ago. The Ed, I told him, come by the show, whatever. He went to the ESPN Zone in Anaheim. It's a restaurant, you know. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I went to ESPN. They never even heard of him. I thought he got a show. He's supposed to be on the air right now.
And
they said, well, we don't know him.
It was you were at the restaurant. You weren't at the radio. Anyway, let's just move on.
Yeah, I did. Now, the Ed, while I was waiting for Popeye to come on, we were going to talk about some of the regular callers to the show. But the Ed was clearly the best sports contraption caller ever, right, Dave?
Well, I don't want to make his ego. I don't want to build his ego up, but yeah, I think the Ed, you know, for a guy who sometimes, especially on a sports show, it's interesting that he doesn't. Don't take offense to this, the Ed. Sometimes your facts aren't all together square. I mean, sometimes you get some of the.
You just get mad because Cleveland Browns beat Pittsburgh, and you got all upset. And said, "Oh, it's just a coincidence." Oh, it's a coincidence.
That never happened though last year. The Ed, you kept saying that they were the Browns were going to kill the Steelers, but they didn't. And you also said that the Steelers should have drafted Brady Quinn last year, even though they already.
Should have. Did the Steelers make the playoffs last year?
They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, they would have with Brady Quinn.
They made the playoffs last year. I'm getting confused now. Yeah, 2 years ago they didn't make the playoffs.
No, last football season they didn't make no playoffs.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Remember they lost at home to the Jaguars?
Don't listen. See, if you lose in the first round at home, it doesn't count as a playoff appearance.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that either. Now, the Ed, when on the contraption, you wanted to be the Pittsburgh Steelers correspondent.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I was named as the Steeler expert because I knew everything about him.
No,
and then
you know,
it was sad news though. The White passed away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was very sad, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I didn't like hearing that. You know, I didn't know what to do about it.
No, Dave,
what you could do about it. But yeah, that was one of our one of the highlights for me, along with talking to the Ed on a regular basis. Was
why would a highlight be the White dying?
No. Not the White dying.
I was talking more about the conversation we had with him on the sports contraption.
Yeah.
Yeah, did they ever put that statue up there?
No. As far as I know, Dell, are you gonna run with that? You got to make that happen, man. The deal now in particular.
That was one of your main causes on the sports contraption. You wanted to get a statue built outside of Heinz Field there of the steel curtain.
I just ran into a little bit of money. I'd put a few dollars.
Oh, that's right. Dave, I don't know if you heard. The Ed won $61,000 in Vegas last
Yeah,
week.
he told me about that, and I you know, listen, I'm not calling you a liar, the Ed, but that seems like an awful lot of money. You usually only because you bet for pleasure, not to make a ton of money. I mean, you usually bet like, $5 at a time. It seems hard to believe you made $61,000.
Well, it was hard to believe from my pockets too, because they ain't never felt that much money inside of them.
So now you're ready to put that $61 grand into the steel curtain statues outside Heinz Field?
No, not that much. I give $15, $20.
All right, well then it'll be done.
But if you get 1,000 people together to give you $10, that's close to $100,000. And you'll be right on your way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's work on that. Yeah, that was the support.
These guys told me that Popeye didn't get shot.
No, he didn't.
I had swore that I had heard that he had got shot, but these kids told me no, he didn't get shot.
Yeah. Well, the Ed. We have a special guest on the line right now.
Oh, wonderful.
See if you can recognize this voice. Jerry, is our caller there? Caller, are you there?
Jerry, Michael, love the show.
Hey, it's Popeye, everybody. Popeye, Ryan Saylor, the old producer of the sports contraption.
Dave Dameshek, how are you?
Popeye, how are you? What a darling boy he is. Hey, listen, Popeye, why don't you do something? At some point, if not right now, why don't you sing too? I love when the Ed sings, and I love when you would sing. You only sang once on the show, if I recall correctly, though, right? You were shy about it, even though you're literally a choir boy.
That's true. It was the talent show episode towards the end of the show's run, and I did make a special exception to my rule of not really.
That show was a rip-off too.
Singing.
What was your favorite thing on the show, the Ed? What was your favorite thing from the sports contraption?
Ooh, mine?
Yeah.
I just like listening to the show. Because you had the mayor would call in. You had like political people. You had all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, the mayor.
The mayor.
It was sports.
I think it was the mayor of PNC Park, right? That was the regular caller.
He needed to clean the city up, though. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like, you know what I remember, the Ed? He didn't like it very much. He was one of many callers, as a matter of fact, who really were very unhappy with that unfortunate episode that started with you meeting a woman in the park, and she had a baby, and she asked you if you would watch the baby for a couple of minutes, and you said no until she offered you $20, and then you were willing to do it. Then she abandoned you with that baby. Remember that?
I know, and I've called these kids' hockey show the last couple of times that they've been on, and we've yelled out to the baby that if the baby's listening, just call, because I don't know where you're at, and you need to call, and so we can find you, because, it really hurt my feelings when they took the baby away, and, it was mean.
Now Popeye, if I remember correctly, I believe the Ed, he used to blame you for calling the authorities on the baby.
It was his fault because he told the people, oh yeah, if he lives over there and he go over there.
Now, see, I'm glad I have a chance to defend myself now because
no defense.
This brings to light a very disturbing incident that occurred not long after the contraption went off the air. And that was whenever I went outside one night, and a scary-looking guy who identified himself as the Ed's son was waiting for me. And he said he was going to shoot me.
Wow.
And then he chased me all over the city of Pittsburgh. I was driving in my car, and he was chasing me. And it was very frightening, very disrespectful, and I don't appreciate it at all. I wasn't responsible at all.
I told you stop fooling around. I told you stop fooling around, didn't I?
Yeah, that's not true.
You
didn't have to send somebody after me with a gun.
He was just supposed to rough you up a little bit. He should have. He told me he scared you.
Popeye, yeah, you guys didn't always get along. It was Popeye's fault that, that was. I never knew that. I hope you believe me, the Ed, that I never had anything to do with getting the baby, the authorities. But I did encourage you that it would have been the right thing to do because given that baby was 6 months old, and first of all, you refused to change her diaper, and you always thought it was a boy, or you always called her him. But then you were also feeding the baby. You were feeding her salsa and donuts and Mountain Dew. That's
well, what? Okay, listen. Now you got a baby. What's your baby? You always think you're just so smart. You gotta use what you got, because if you ain't got it, you can't use it. So how can you do it?
Well, I don't have an answer to that. Touche.
Truer words were never said.
I know, Mountain Dews, Tootsie Rolls, chicken wings, those are stuff that's in my house. You gotta give them what you got.
Yeah, but I don't think...
And the baby, you should see that baby eat mashed potatoes. That was like the best thing I ever seen. It not a tear to my eye. That baby act like he had never ate mashed potatoes before.
Yeah, but it was a girl, though, so it was a she.
I know he did.
Now, speaking of the talent show where Popeye sang, and I never did hear that, Popeye, by the way. I missed that part of it. But so it would be nice if you could sing maybe a little later. But the Ed, during the talent show portion of the sports contraption, you did impersonations. You remember that?
Yeah, but hey, listen, I won, and then some crazy lady playing the piano and driving a cab at the same time. It didn't make no sense. How do you do that?
Yeah, that was Elaine, the cab driver, another regular caller.
She was a wonderful one.
The Ed in the competition was the fact that his magic trick didn't go over really well.
Well, that was Dave's fault.
Yeah,
Dave talking about,
magic trick.
how you screw up magic trick when he's supposed to know what to do on it? It's only magic if it's magic.
Well, people love it. There's no question that magic tricks on the radio are dynamite. But but that was good. But your impressions also, that's the other thing. You thought you won, but they really, again, no offense, but they weren't really all that good.
No. You know how I know that they were the greatest?
How?
Because you knew everybody I was impersonating.
Why don't you do one now?
You didn't even know that lady's song.
Well,
She was playing a bunch of Jumbo Lumber.
She sat down at the piano. Remember that? That was lovely. She was
You was like, I ain't got no idea what that is. But when I did mine, you said, that's how it goes now. It's like, how could I lose? How could I lose?
Do Cosell now.
What?
Let's hear some Cosell right now, or whoever you want to do. Let's see if we can get it.
Now, I'm going to do another one, see if you can tell who it is. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to clear my throat. Hold on.
Take your time. We'll wait.
He's at bat right now for the home run derby. He hit it. It's back. It's gone.
It's Chris Berman.
See, look at that. Greatest ever. See, you guys just don't understand things that you. Huh?
But it doesn't sound anything like him, though. You understand that. I mean, you took the way you used the words.
You're just jealous of the situation that happens. These people know. I'll do one more for you, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm the greatest. No one's prettier than me. I sting like a butterfly and I float like a bee.
Muhammad Ali.
Look at that. Look at that.
Wow,
Ding,
you're really
ding,
good.
ding.
They're saying their words, though, the Ed. You don't sound like them. You're just saying their words.
I don't. Well, then how did he know what it was?
I knew right away. You painted a beautiful word picture in my mind of Muhammad Ali.
See, look at that. Look at that. I don't know.
I take it back. I take it back. I guess I
I wish I'd get my prize then, because I still didn't get it.
Yeah, Dave, are you ever going to give the Ed a prize? I think you owe him some prizes, don't you?
Again, I don't know that the Ed has ever won anything on any of the shows that he's called into where I've been working.
No, you gave me the pizza. You gave me a pizza.
Just because I was being nice, I didn't win anything.
But I don't get airline tickets. Everybody else calls get airline tickets, rental cars, free rent paid and all that. I don't get nothing.
They do? All right. Well, but you have to win. The point is you have to win something.
Speaking of people owing people something, you gave me a tip for the Kentucky Derby. You told me to put $10 down on like Western Steel or something like that, and I did, and he didn't.
Ain't no horse called Buns of Steel for one, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You owe me $10.
Who's this talking?
It's Popeye.
Popeye.
No, you're lying. You're always telling stories. You're a storyteller. I bet you. Are you related? You probably related to Dr. Zeus.
Ouch.
I'm not familiar with Dr. Zeus.
No. Well, let's hear more about the Dave, because the Dave, don't know nobody get to talk to him. Dave, just talk. Let's hear your voice.
Yeah, let's get into more about the Popeye. Before you got here, Popeye, we were talking about the early days of the contraption, like the very first week. And I was telling Dave how I was listening to that very first show, and I thought it was wonderful. Now, Popeye, what are your memories of the beginning of the contraption?
Actually, I don't have many memories from that first show. I've kind of blocked out that portion of my life.
That was the worst, wasn't it, Popeye? That was the worst night. That was the worst 3 hours. Those 3 hours rank among probably the 20 worst hours of my life. It was excruciating.
Well, that begs the question, though. What were the other 17? That makes me think right away. What were the other 17 hours?
They have to do with women, I must say. Yeah,
okay. All
right. Will this hour count as one?
Yes.
No, what a thing. They got to talk to Popeye and the Ed and finally meet over the telephone. So what a thing.
All right, so Popeye, there were a lot of technical difficulties that first night, as Dave already mentioned. But I thought that back then the show wasn't even called Sports Contraption. What was it going by back then? What was the name it was being called?
It was I believe it was just the Dave Dameshek show.
Yeah, but we did that. We changed it. We came up with Sports Contraption either that night. Wasn't it that night that somehow I said something about that? Because George Michael's Sports Machine had just gone off the air a couple of weeks before, and so I said something like, "Well, that's gone, so now this should be our new. It's not the new Sports Machine. Let's call it the Sports Contraption." And then the next day we just went with that as the show name, right? Wasn't that how it went?
I think so. Yeah.
So you were soliciting people's opinions that night, and you had several guests there with you who were chiming in, and I believe it was settled by the end of the night that would be the actual name of the show.
Yeah, but the worst thing was, as I mentioned earlier, was that there was one over the course of an hour. There was one 60-second PSA that would play. And I literally didn't have time to go. I could not go and make water. I didn't have enough time because I was the only voice on the show. I couldn't go to the bathroom for an entire 3 hours. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, you and me both.
You gotta learn how to hold it.
I had a catheter hooked up to me, so I just kind of went in a bag on the floor there, and But no, that was priority number one. The day following the first show was to make sure that we had a few more spots scheduled so that we could take a breather there during the commercial break.
Oh, it's just the worst. And then but the phones weren't working that night, but then the next night they were fixed. But you would have to instant message me on a computer to tell me somebody was on the phone. Even it was the worst setup in the history of radio. It was just terrible. I don't know how we got through those first few weeks.
Really,
I was glad to
it
see.
was.
I was glad to see when you went to California, you didn't take Popeye with you.
Why, you were happy?
He's mean sometimes.
Oh,
All those kids that answer your phones are just mean. You got that new one. That new one. All she does is yell at me. Huh?
No, it's a guy. That's a guy who answers the phone now. He has a very deep voice. Drew Belzer. I don't know why you think that's
I'd like to make her tap out in the cage fight. Popeye too, because Popeye's always was talking a lot of trash too. So
Popeye is as mild-mannered a guy as there is. I don't remember him ever challenging you to a fight.
Hey, someone told me he tried to say he graduated high school. I said that's got to be a lie.
I think Popeye graduated high school.
I don't. What school? What school? Name. Quick. What school? What school? He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. What year?
98?
Yeah, right. 98. Come on now.
Yeah, you should be an attorney. You're really good on the cross-examination.
Yeah, that's great. Maybe, you know what? In L.A., maybe we could pull some strings for you. That'd be great if we could get you on like a Law and Order type show.
Oh, that would be awesome.
You'd be dynamite as the star litigator, right?
I could have a judge show. You watch some judge shows?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you'd be great as that,
Did you watch Marty Forbes today?
I know, I didn't see it.
This boy tested 6 guys. Well, none of them are Baby Daddy. None of them.
That's unfortunate. But, hey, now that you bring up the TV, I should mention that one of my favorite bits from the old Sports Contraption days, hypothetical Horatio.
Ah, yeah. Marvelous game, yeah. Somebody told me the other day, I didn't see the season finale of CSI Miami. Somebody told me that Horatio Kane got shot in the eye. And,
really?
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen? What happens if he's dead? Do we continue with the bit? That's the question.
So I've never been shot, but I would think the eye would be a place you don't want to be shot.
No, like Mo Green at the end of The Godfather,
yeah.
If you remember that.
That's very true.
Didn't work out for him.
We have a hockey-themed hypothetical Horatio set up to go. If you'd like to play a little Horatio right now, Dave.
Wow. All right, let's give it a shot. Who are the contestants? Are the Ed and Popeye and myself?
Yeah, you Ed and Popeye can do it. Now, Larry, I think you got the play the intro. I think we have an intro for Horatio set up. We ripped it right off your show. Go ahead.
Think you can deliver a one-liner like CSI Miami's Horatio Kane? It's time to play Hypothetical Horatio, the game that lets you fill the shoes of TV's most ridiculous character.
Yeah, Dave, do you want to explain the bit? It's just based on CSI Miami and Horatio.
Yeah, listen, he's David Caruso, who you know from NYPD Blue in the first year, the redhead guy. He's a big blowhard of a guy, so he's the most ridiculous overactor in history. And his best thing is right at the beginning of every episode. He and his partner they're standing over the body, Frank, and Frank tells them the details. The one we always did was. Let's get the ball rolling here and we'll throw this one at the Ed here. Just see how he does here. So here's a hypothetical situation. We would throw out the situation and then I play the role of Frank and then the contestants, they try to come up with what they think Caruso might say there. What Horatio Kane might say there. And if you do it well, then you hear the Roger Daltrey scream from Won't Get Fooled Again.
And I think we have that ready to go. We have it queued up and ready to go.
All right, so the Ed, let me throw this one at you then. The hypothetical situation is there's a surfer. He's dead on the at the shore there, and foul play the cause of death. Frank says, this poor kid got killed. All he did was come out for a day of surfing. What do you think Horatio Kane might say there, the Ed?
If you got 2 sticks and a gun, you can't make biscuits.
That's solid gold. In fact, I think that one would work for every single murder in the history of the show. That's great. I was thinking more along the lines of, well, it looks like he caught the killer wave.
I guess
I don't understand it. I don't understand this. See, this is always the one that confuses me.
But Blog Talk Radio is a little slow on the screen there, but we get the idea.
That game always confused me.
Apparently.
Well, it's a hard game. Yeah, it's tough to do. It's tough to do well.
If you don't think got dice or cards, it's hard to play.
Yes, it is. All right, Larry, you've got a scenario there about a bowling alley manager, I believe.
Right.
Read it off for us.
All right, here we go. A bowling alley manager is found dead. His legs literally ripped from his body. Frank says, "This is a grisly one, Horatio. This poor guy was found strewn across the lane. Someone or something pulled his legs apart like a wishbone. What would Horatio Kane say?"
Anybody?
Popeye, why don't you tackle this one first?
Oh, boy.
And you can't say anything about biscuits or something like that. Cause
I got an answer for this one.
All right. Yeah, do you want to give your answer? Or, well, Popeye
I got one.
Okay.
Because you said it's a bowling alley, right?
Yes.
Let me see you pick up that spare.
Ooh, very, very close. Very close. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have given it the thumbs up. That's very good, Ed. Very good.
I see. I'll go something along those lines, actually. I hope he can pick up a couple of pins. Wait, that's not exactly right. There's something there with the spare. I hope he can get the spare pins. Pick up the spare pins.
That's cool. That's very good as well. Not too bad. Popeye, any ideas?
It's a good thing he still has his balls.
That's not too shabby. That's pretty good.
Very good to you. That's a good one to Popeye. I think Popeye's our winner, right?
Well, here's the one I had. Here's the one I had. You know, because I never like to give a scenario without having the answer. Like
Sure. That's the way to do it.
I think Horatio would say, "Well, Frank, it looks like the murderer left me a tough split."
That's just what I said.
Yeah, there it is. All right. I was waiting for the stream. You said spare, You said spare.
A spare split. It's all starts with an ass in the future.
I'm with the Ed. I think there's something that, I don't have it exactly right, but people call legs pins. People call legs pins and the bowling pins and then spare pins. There's got to be something there, right?
Yeah, I never thought of the pins in the legs thing. I never made that connection. All right, I think we got one more, the hockey-related one, Jerry.
Yes.
All right, let's fire this one off real quick.
Here we go. Chris Chelios is found dead outside Joe Louis Arena. Frank says, "There's no murder weapon, no sign of struggle. Horatio, what could have happened? Do you think it's murder?" What would Horatio Kane say?
Anybody?
I sure wish hockey was a sport.
Yeah. Hockey is a sport, Ed. It is a sport.
How about I don't know what happened here, but this guy's going to the box.
Ooh, that's not bad. That's a good one.
Yeah, the major penalty. But, by the way, Chris Chelios, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Do you remember when he said after the Penguins beat them in '92, beat those Hawks in '92, in the off season, he said we were too deferential to 66 Lemieux. Next time we play him, I'm going to punch him right in the mouth.
I can't stand Chris Chelios. LCS Hockey has made a long career off just making fun of Chris Chelios. And I don't know if you remember this, Dave, but after that season, when the Pens won the second Stanley Cup there in '92, in the NHL awards banquet that season, they announced the first-team All-Stars, and Lemieux was a first-team All-Star, so he went up on stage, and they announced the other ones, and Chris Chelios was also a first-team All-Star, and when he came on stage, he wanted to shake Lemieux's hand.
What?
Yeah.
Is that right? What a scumbag. I see that guy out in L.A. here all the time with Laird Hamilton, his best buddy.
Ugh.
You know, the surfer guy?
Yeah.
They're always palling around, these two, in Malibu. out here. He's always got a deep, dark tan. He's always really tan. And by the way, he's like he's 48 or whatever he is.
Yes.
And he runs off with no pride whatsoever after they won the cup in the Igloo, and runs off and puts his skates on as though he had anything to do with them winning the cup that year.
Exactly. Oh, was I irate about that? Oh,
Terrible. Yeah,
I can't stand it.
Hey, listen, did you see that hockey story today? The guy had the cover that baby pooped in it.
No, I did not see that.
Yes, I swear to you. Listen, watch ESPN. The kid from what team was that? The one, the Red Wings.
Yes.
He brought the cup home. He set his daughter in it, and she did number 2.
Wow. That sounds. How did we miss that one, Larry?
You know what? You think I'm playing? You think I'm joking? That is a true, super true story with a capital T.
I confirm that. I heard that story as well.
Wow.
Hey, look, I told you everything I tell you, you got to know.
Popeye, do you know who it was? I'll have to look this up.
I can't recall off
Just
the top of my head.
put it. Listen, look, go on the Google thing, because I be doing that on the computer now. Just put hockey and poop.
Hockey and poop. Oddly enough, I make that search every night anyway, so it won't be a problem.
When did you get to be so computer savvy, by the way?
My son bought a computer. You know, usually because it's right in the living room by the television. So they always say, like, go to divorcecourt.com and all that stuff like that. And you go there, you can buy, like, coffee mugs and all kinds. My son gave me this debit card. He said, ain't no money on it. When you get your check, you go put money on it. Then you use it, and it's like a credit card. He's seen it on something, some loan place that get this card or something, and they put like whatever character or whatever you want on it. Mine is the Judge Mathis one. It's got his picture right on there, but it's got the Visa logo too, and you can use it and do whatever you want to do with it.
Now, Ed, have you told your son that you won $61,000 yet?
He knows I want some money.
Uh-huh.
He just don't know how much.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, well, you know, if I tell him, see, he asked me the other day, why did I buy a new winter coat? And I said, well, it was on sale. And he said, well, it's not even, he said, California don't get that cold. And I said, well, I don't know how long we're going to live here, because his job moving around. So, you never know what's going to happen.
Speaking of that, it seems like he's a nice guy, and you know, he was out in Pittsburgh because of work and everything, and he always is nice enough to put a roof over your head. Don't you think it would be nice to give him a little bit of money? It seems like.
Well, listen, I get my check, and I got to pay 10% of every single bill that comes in that house. Every single one.
Yeah, but that's
power bill. Power bill was $142 last month. I had to pay 10%.
Huh. Why don't you pay 50%?
Well, I don't have that much money.
Oh, all right. But don't you have that much money now?
Yeah, where does the money come from on a monthly basis?
I get checks. I had a job. My son got me a job with him for a little bit, but I ain't doing it now.
Yeah, but before that, the government was giving you checks. That was something that
I still get 2 of those.
Yeah, but on the sports contraption, you would always talk about that you would get government checks. But what exactly would the government be giving you?
I'm American.
Huh. I'm an American.
So whenever you're American, you just file for the money. They send it on to you.
Huh.
Yep. 2 of them.
Larry, make a note. I got to look into this.
Yeah, I'm writing my right address.
Yeah, that's a good deal. All right,
it comes right with your address on it. Everything's on it.
Wow. Sweet. Well, we got away from this ratio, but basically the punchline to the Chris Chelios one was,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
I didn't have a good one.
Well, just the punchline is, Horatio, is it murder? Do you think it's murder? And then Horatio came and said, no, I think it's just old age. Go ahead and scream. There you go. All right. All right. The other big famous regular bit you had, Dave, the jerk list.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody about the jerk list?
Well, first of all, you can hear it now. It's the sports guy Bill Simmons was nice enough. I was on his podcast a week ago today, actually, and I did the jerk list there, and I'm going to be doing it every month on his show.
That's good news. That's good news.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's a good place for it, I think. But by the way, you're not. You know what's weird on the internet? You're not allowed to play. You're not allowed to play the Star Wars music and the Lord of the Rings music and all that, which is a shame. But anyway.
Well, we do it. I mean, who's going to stop us? You know. But I understand Bill Simmons being yellow and everything. He doesn't want to, but you know.
Yeah. See, listen, it's the society we live in. It's a wonderful place for the most part, but there are jerks and creeps who bring it down, and so I, with the Han Solo Edition blaster, try to rectify these matters by shooting them with the Han Solo Edition blaster. And I have had a number of marksmen over the years, my assassins, basically, the guys who I don't actually pull the trigger. I just I have someone else do it. And Popeye, I have to say, was one of the better marksmen I've had, except he was a little mouthy. He would always bring up moral issues. He had moral assumptions about shooting certain people. Remember that, Popeye?
Yeah, you asked me to shoot God.
Yeah, well, so what? When the jerk list is going on, I am God, don't you see?
Well, then wouldn't I be shooting you?
Huh.
All right.
I never thought of that.
Point to Popeye.
Yeah. Well,
I did shoot myself several times. I think that counts for something.
I guess that's true, yeah. But we do have to take down all the jerks and creeps of society, and I do it with pleasure. It's not, listen, it's not some desire to injure other people, but I have to use my lofty perch in life, not unlike yourself, Del. I encourage you to do the same thing, to do some good in the world. Don't be one of these Michael Jordan types who just is an empty corporate shill. Use your power to do some good in the world. That's what the jerk list is about.
Well, Dave, I don't know if you know this, but LCS hockey, we're all about the kids.
I didn't know that. I wasn't aware. Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Okay. All right.
What are you doing for the kids, though, Del?
We're still deciding on that, but usually
it's all about them, though. Okay.
Yeah, we're just all about the kids. All about the kids.
Great.
But Dave, Popeye was here earlier. He was on our show a couple times, and the one time he did leave the Han Solo blaster here.
You're kidding me.
So we have it ready to go. There it is. So if there's any jerks or creeps you'd like to nominate real quick, Larry here, or Jerry, he can shoot the little blaster off for you.
Some jerks and creeps for you that need to. All right, you know what? As a matter of fact, I was watching the All-Star game. Not even the All-Star game, the Home Run Derby the other night, and I thought that was the talk. Watch it. I assume everybody watched it with Josh Hamilton, right?
Yes. Right.
I mean, was the hyperbole at an all-time high watching that the other night? That this is one of the great sporting events in the history of mankind, is the way they sort of made it sound. It's a carnival event. An old man is lobbing. That's how you know it's not a real sporting event. Is that you had a 71-year-old man throwing the ball in there to Josh Hamilton, and he's hitting home runs, and they're declaring, watching this thing, they're declaring, Yankee Stadium has seen many magical moments, but this ranks right up there at the top. Really? Do you think the people in the crowd would agree with you on that? You think people who were there to see Reggie Jackson hit the 3 home runs in 1977 would count Josh Hamilton, the Texas Ranger, hitting home runs in batting practice, in glorified batting practice, up there with the World Series clinching 3 home run performance? Or Roger Maris hitting 61, or Babe Ruth hitting 60, or any of the other things? Yeah, the guy from the Texas Rangers hitting home runs in batting practice. That's one of the great moments in Yankee Stadium history. That was ridiculous. And the other thing, the more thing I find egregious is listen, the guy was on the junk, right? I mean, the guy was on the junk. In our society, in our politically correct society, this now makes you a hero, apparently, if you kick. If you kick for a while, your drug habit, now you are to be glorified, and shame the devil if you ever say anything bad about the fact that he's no longer on the crack. This is, and by the way, there are people fighting in Iraq as we speak right now, but Josh Hamilton, the multimillionaire who smoked crack, is a hero who should be looked up to. This is a storybook ending. Anybody who says that about Josh Hamilton, anybody who glorifies people who are on the junk or temporarily off the junk and associate that with heroism, jerks.
There you go.
Nice job there. But yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? Watching that thing, I really. The Ed, what about that in your world? What do you know about that? You know, the guy's smoking crack, and now he's off of it, and now we're supposed to regard him as some sort of a hero, right? That's a little weird, isn't it?
Man, I don't think he should be no hero to nobody. Mm-hmm. You know, that guy, every time somebody does something bad, they give you a second chance. I'm tired of these second chances. Sometimes they give them 5, 6 chances. Everybody want, you know, oh, you mess up. They just smack them on the mouth. That's it. Mm-hmm. I don't like it. Everybody, you should just, you know, they act like it's their right to play ball. You know, you don't have no right like Barry Bonds. He talking about, oh, it's conclusion and all this. They don't want all the teams to get me. Oh yeah, they're collusion and all this stuff. And then, but you know what? I can't go back to my old job and say, hey, you got to hire me back. They ain't going to. They don't like me. If they don't like it, they're not going to bring you back. I can't go in there and come. What if I went in there and said, listen, the Dave is going to represent me and so are these hockey kids, and they say, you gotta put him back to work. That's silliness. You can't. Every job can't be like that, you know. If you want to play, and then like the Brett Favre on the Packers, he want to get traded or he want to get released. I trade him to Buffalo. That's what I do. I trade him as far away from that can hurt the Packers. Just trade him. Say, listen, we give you like $4,500 and some candy and go.
Candy. Wow, that's a good deal. But that's why I like having the Ed around. He puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, you really do. He's been around longer than we have, and so right, he has a certain wisdom that comes with the years. But
they act like those Josh Hamilton home runs counted or something. They were like, he hit 28 home runs. Dave Kingman, they never did that.
Yeah, I really am I right that was one of the most grossly overstated things you've seen in sports? It was the home run derby. Who cares? What does that mean in any? This was a storybook night here at Yankee Stadium. Was that one of the?
It's worse than a slam dunk contest.
Yeah. And by the way, the other thing is with the home run derby contest, as a side note, is after about 20 minutes of it, it becomes one of the most tedious, boring things you've ever looked at in your life.
They should say you got to come up with creative ways to hit a home run, like hit it with a wiffle ball bat with a hard ball. See that? Or have them sit down and hit it, or hit it with one knee or something. You know, do something. You know, kick it or something.
I think Josh Hamilton, he should get a tattoo.
Yeah, I think he has a few.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has a couple. Hey, I think we have another, Jared, do we still have another caller on the line waiting to get in?
Yeah, we do have a call.
All right, we're loaded up. We're just bringing everyone on at once, so it's going to get a mess. Everyone's going to be talking over each other, I'm sure. But we have another special guest. Go ahead, Larry. Bring him on.
Caller, are you there? Hello?
Okay, I think the caller went away.
All right. Well, we'll check back in a couple minutes.
Yeah. I think Cousin Brandon's on the line. We'll have to check back.
He must have fallen asleep.
Yeah. We'll check
Cousin
back with
Brandon, we'll talk about that. See, Popeye, that was the one thing. You didn't make very many friends during the 3 months of the sports contraption. The Ed apparently has raw feelings about you, and you and Cousin Brandon.
No, I don't like him. I don't like him.
Right, that's what I meant. You didn't like him when I said you have raw feelings for him.
Well, I would like for this show to be like, to bring the Ed and Popeye together. I would like to see you guys leave as friends after tonight. What do you think?
We're friends.
Maybe you could sing, a nice song, a nice duet, like Islands in the Stream. Or something.
We are the world, we are the children. For one makes a better day. Let's start giving. There's a choice you making, and then make it all right. It's true, you make a better day, everybody.
This is the olive branch. This is the Ed's voice is extending the olive branch.
Yeah, I like Popeye. He ain't a bad kid. He don't do all the bad things that people say he does.
This is
There's
why
a
I
lot of
was
talk about Popeye doing bad stuff to people. That is his reputation all over the country.
Why can't we be friends?
Ah.
Why can't we
Why
be
can't we
friends?
Why can't we be friends?
Why
Oh,
can't we be
yeah.
friends?
Wow, it was like a chorus of angels.
You want me to tell you why we can't be friends?
Yeah.
Why
No, I'll be friends. I'm just joking.
It's a funny joke.
All right, Larry, should we try Cousin Brandon again? Is he still there?
Well, they just hung up. All right, hold on, they're back. All right,
Okay.
let's see if they're there this time. Here we go.
Okay.
Caller, are you there?
Hello?
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 Who is
Hello?
this? This doesn't sound like Cousin Brandon.
Keep her on. Keep her on. It sounds like a girl.
Yeah, hey.
This is my bride?
It's intern Aaron.
Oh, that was my wife. Oh, even
That's my
better.
girl.
This
That's
is
my
even
girl.
better.
That's my girl.
It's Aaron the intern, everybody. Aaron the intern. Is that really you?
It is me.
Wow, there you go. Aaron the intern. Popeye, why don't you tell us about Aaron the intern? Remind everyone what she did on the sports contraption.
She's beautiful.
Aaron the intern was a huge help to me. I had hired an intern originally, and it didn't turn out very well. The situation kind of soured.
Was that Elliot?
Yeah. The reason why that didn't really work out was apparently he wasn't the right gender.
Oh, that's right.
So my next attempt at hiring an intern.
Well, why? I don't understand where we went wrong in the first place. When I said, get a nice young student, someone, but make it a foxy woman.
Yeah, then he hired a gay kid. That was
But then you struck gold with the lovely Aaron the intern. How are you, Aaron the intern?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not so bad. What's new with you? What are you doing with yourself these days?
I work for ESPN in Bristol.
Wow.
You're kidding me.
No.
How about that? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. It's actually where I am right now.
What are you doing there?
I'm a production assistant.
Unbelievable. What for what sort of thing? Sports Center or what?
Actually in the radio department. I do the board for different shows and all that kind of stuff.
What shows?
Well, mainly on the weekends I'm with Eric Casilius and Andy Gresh and John Kincaid. And during the week I do actually all night with Jason Smith and game night with either Ryan Russillo or Freddie Coleman. So.
How about that? Well, Jason Smith, I see him every day over there in Los Angeles at the ESPN station.
So I've heard. I've talked to him about you.
Is that right? And do you disparage me?
He was supposed to tell you I say hello.
Well, he never has. He never has, that creep.
Aw.
I'll take this up with him as soon as possible. I'd like to think that, Aaron, that your experience of interviewing some of Pittsburgh's biggest name athletes helped get you to ESPN in Bristol, right?
I think it did. Totally.
It's funny you mention that, Dave, because I believe we have an audio clip of Aaron interviewing you, and you were pretending to be Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just for clarification, yeah. She wouldn't actually, Aaron didn't know this at the time, but she wasn't actually talking to Ben Roethlisberger or Geno Malkin or any of those guys.
No.
I was pretending to be them. Yeah, no, I was just
Why did you
pretending.
never tell me that?
Well, because I thought it would help you, to help you deal with the nerves and everything else to think this really is Ben Roethlisberger. So, yeah, so I hope
Okay.
obviously it did work out for you. Great.
It did. It helped me out.
Well, let's hear
here,
some of it.
Yeah, Larry, do you have I think it goes about 40 seconds, so just everyone relax and enjoy the big clip. Larry, do you have it ready to go? Larry? I think we lost Larry. Larry?
Oh, sorry. Is it twice she said? Is that?
No. Oh, no. Keep that secret.
The greatest. It's the greatest moment in the history of sports contraption.
I believe it is Contraption, Big Ben. Do you have that?
Oh, Big Ben. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
All right,
But-
so a lot of people have been focusing on the mistakes you've been making. How do you
How
deal with
dare?
that?
Didn't I just tell you I don't want to talk about this crap?
Well, it's something...
You think just because you're pretty you can talk, you can say anything you want to me? Not here. I run this town, baby.
Well, I'm not criticizing you myself. I'm just asking you how you deal with it.
Oh, you're not criticizing me.
No.
So then you like me.
I didn't say that. I was just trying to ask you a question.
Want to show me how much you like me? I'd like to show you how much I like you, baby.
I don't think that's appropriate.
I run this town, woman. I tell you how it's going to be. I give you the score.
I don't think that's going to get me very far.
Oh, I'll take you very far. I'll take you all the way up to Cloud 9, baby.
Oh, that was just magic. Now, Aaron,
That's
were you
how
intimidated?
Roethlisberger deals with people, so that really was good for you.
He sounded kind of cranky that day.
Mm.
I did, or Ben
No,
did.
he did.
Yeah.
No, listen, he was just vibing to a lovely reporter who was in front of him. That's all.
Now, Aaron, do you think the experience of interviewing Ben Roethlisberger and Sidney Crosby, as Dave said, did that get you ready to work for ESPN? Has that made you a better
It did.
reporter?
It's got me prepared, hopefully one day to actually do it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I
What a
hope
lovely woman that Erin is.
I hope an ugly scene like that has never taken place in real life with you. Like, no athlete has been that rude or anything.
No, not yet. Hopefully never.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yes, I will.
I
Aaron,
wish she was on Sports Center right now.
yeah, the end. That's
I was supposed to
inappropriate.
go on a date with her, and then
Oh,
she's the prettiest girl I had ever seen. Because a couple of times I went down to the radio station, and in the parking lot, she got in the car, and I looked at her,
now wait a minute.
but I didn't say nothing to her.
Aaron the intern, is that true? Do you remember the Ed? Aaron the intern, do you remember the Ed?
I remember talking to the Ed, but I've never actually met the Ed.
No, I didn't come up to you. I just looked at you and tossed away. I said,
Oh.
goodness gracious.
Okay.
Well, Aaron the intern, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah.
You really added to the evening. But I'm afraid we have to let you go because we got cousin Brandon waiting on the line.
Aaron, what a pleasure to hear things are going so well for you. I couldn't be happier to hear that.
Thanks. It was great talking to you.
Good to talk to you. Best wishes to you, and I'll speak to you through Jason Smith in the near future.
All right, sounds good.
All right, be well.
There she goes, Aaron the intern. Thanks, Aaron the intern. Well, how nice for her to stop by. And now, Larry, do we have cousin Brandon on the line?
I believe we do. Let's make sure. Cousin Brandon, are you there?
I am here. How is everyone tonight?
Hey, it's cousin Brandon. Hey, Brandon, we're here. We got a full boat. We got the Ed, we got Popeye, and we got cousin Dave. So, make
I didn't know they were all going to be on tonight. I wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
Cousin Brandon, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Oh, not so bad. Not so bad.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Good evening, cousin Brandon.
How are you?
There they are, the arch nemesis from the
Yes.
Sports Contraption.
Popeye and Brandon.
You can already hear the sarcastic hello in his voice. He just doesn't care for me, and that's fine. I don't. Yeah.
Not at all. I thought we patched things up there towards the end.
Think what you want.
All right, we should update everyone on this who doesn't remember. We talked about Popeye. We talked to Popeye about this before, but he used to have a fierce rivalry with cousin Brandon, and I think it all stemmed at first from your musical taste. Is that right, Popeye?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
That's the way it started. Cousin Brandon was one of the original contributors to the show. First, simultaneously as poet laureate and chief musical director. And the guy picked some wonderful songs. I mean, some really good music, some good stuff, some tasteful stuff. Turned me on to some good stuff. It was just wonderful. And then I decided to pick a couple of my musical offerings and go ahead and try to contribute in some way to the creative process of the show. And what happened after that was I got ridiculed. I got shot down. I got made fun of and really abused for putting myself out there, for taking a chance for one.
What were those songs, though? I was with Brandon on this. Your songs were terrible.
It was a lot of German techno, if I recall, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I want to say Hasselhoff was a major influence, for instance, and Kraftwerk, and it was shameful stuff, really. And the way I see it is this: I think a certain sort of jealousy reared its ugly head and decided, his music's great, blah blah blah. Maybe I can do him one better, and I'm going to start to bring in music of my own, and then hence try to embarrass him. And look, Popeye, it's sad.
I never attempted to best you. I attempted only to contribute to the glory of the show.
Yeah, but then what happened was Brandon was the poet laureate of the show, and he shamed you. He ridiculed you in rhyme, and you didn't like that, and then you fired back, and that was a stunning moment in sports contraption history when Popeye, in a duel, a head-to-head poetry duel, really, I think a lot of people, I think the judges really felt like Popeye stole it in one of the great upsets in sports history of or at least of the 21st century. Popeye came in. You had the beatnik beat in the background and everything. You remember that, Brandon?
Oh, I remember. I remember it quite well, actually.
This is a man who has a master's in creative writing, and Popeye destroyed him with the poem. Did you hear that one, Del?
Yeah, we actually ran a clip of it before. Larry, I don't know if we still have it on the soundboard there. Do you see it anywhere?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. It was great. A lot of good sports things about how Brandon was the Baltimore Colts and you were going to be Johnny Unitas. I mean, you were going to be Joe Namath pulling the upset, and you were the U.S. hockey team beating the Soviets. It was really wonderful stuff.
And I just remember the last line of the poem. Popeye told Brandon to go spit.
Like Danny Glover in Lethal Weapon, one of the so many of these catchphrases, I'll be back, and so on and so forth. They work their way into the American lexicon. How is it possible that go spit didn't catch on?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's it. When someone gets you angry in the world, you go ahead, make my day, all that sort of nonsense. Forget that. Glover used to say that, but go spit. What a thing. Go spit. How dismissive.
What I don't understand, though, explain it to me maybe, though, because most of these euphemisms and these phrases, if you actually stop to think about them, there is a certain sensibility to them. In other words, they do make sense. I don't actually understand what is to be implied by go spit. What are you telling someone to do? I don't get the insult there. I don't understand the intent.
But listen, it's a meaningless deed. Go spit, Listen, for all I care, go spit.
Yeah, okay. What exactly? Okay.
It's exactly right. It's as dismissive a thing as you could say to somebody. Go tell them to go do something useless.
And that cousin Brandon,
for instance, for instance, Vonnegut in his book Slapstick, the line about
here we go.
Go take a flying F at a rolling donut, go take a flying F at the moon. It's fame by now. I'm sure most of you heard something. And there's an action involved. He's telling you to do something. I understand. But what is go spit? I don't get it, though. It is a great line, but I don't understand it.
I think spitting is just a worthless act. And like Dave said, he's just saying, I don't care what you do, just go spit. It means nothing to me. Just go. Get away from me.
What do you think?
How did cousin Brandon learn to make all them words rhyme like that?
Yes.
Did you take rhyming in school, or did you come up with the best stuff I ever heard in my life? You should have one of them rap album things.
Wow, that's an idea.
Huh. Well, I don't think you would call it rapping, but recently you did a little. It was sort of like a rap about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why don't you share that right now?
He sang it on our show before, Dave. So,
great. Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to sing it a little bit right now about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
What, the song that I sang before?
Yes.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, get your hands out my cookie jar. You're too tall to drive a car. I don't remember what I said after that stuff.
Well, but those all right.
I gotta write that down. But this kid, your cousin Brandon, he got like rhymes. Look, I'll make another one. He got rhymes galore, rhymes that I never even heard before.
Wow. That was neat. Well, Ed, I think we may have a special treat for you because, cousin Brandon, did you have time to craft a sports contraption themed poem?
I did, and I'll be honest with you. I wrote it an hour ago. So
wow,
sweet.
This is
I just wrote it.
Great.
All right, yeah, everybody enjoy this. Cousin Brandon, the floor is yours, my friend.
Thank you. Okay, bear with me. It's a little long-winded. So. It was 7 p.m. East Coast time when Dave got on the mic to tell the sports contraption listeners of the pizza toppings he liked, and to yell at Josh the butler who never brought Dave any food, while nincompoop shipping ineptitude in the studio ensued. That's right, Popeye, I'm talking to you with your old-time drops and bad taste. How does a man working so close to Aaron the Fox get all that talent go to waste? Shame the devil, sailor, if you've wasted your time since the contraption went kaput. Because if the Ohio River ain't yet named the Lemieux, I'll introduce your ass to my foot. Your musical taste was a sham and disgrace, and your timing had a beat on its own. If I had to describe you in an apt single word, I'd say you, sir, were monotone. But alas, sailor man, your disgrace is but a morsel of this evening's focus and ire. Should that cad David Feeney rear his ugly head, it's his feet I'll hold twice to the fire. What the sports contraption gave from Orator Dave were games that put us in the know, like the Levon Kendall Memorial Black or White game and a hypothetical Horatio. We all miss Dave's pining for the black and gold front four lining the enemy gates at Heinz Field. Hi and hello, ooh la la, quadruple yoy, mazel tov, Dave's passion he never concealed. And to think of one and all who regularly called, like Carolla, Mo, and the Ed. Dave interviewed the likes of Rocky Flyer and Dwight White while eating tuna fish in Jimmy Kimmel's bed. Bob Nutting, Richie and Irv, Uncle Mike, Larry Burkhead, and nephew Zach and Ben were among his guests. And the lovely Miss Cindy even birthed a little girl, baby Lemieux Crosby Oprah Dameshek. If the contraption taught us anything, it's all that drove Dave crazy. Nutting, Littlefield, Bonds, the Pats, David Eckstein, the Man, Jim Tracy, the Flyers, Joe Pod, Peter King, Pete Prisco, Barbara Walters, Star Jones, the Hasselbecks. All these creeps paled in comparison to Dave's beloved 66.
Ah, what a thing. What a nice poem.
Well done.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and now I'm sad. That was a great show. That was an awesome show we did, right?
Yeah, the sports contraption was the best show ever. Best show ever.
How many Emmys did you guys get for that show?
I can't even count them anymore. It wasn't about the awards, though, yet. It wasn't about the prizes we won.
Yeah, I didn't win any either.
Exactly. Well, Brandon, magnificent job, my friend. Well done.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There's another bit we need to talk about that you did on the show there, Dave. The movie villain tournament. You remember that?
You know, it's so sad because we didn't even finish it. But yeah, that was awesome. It was awesome.
You basically set up like an NCAA-style tournament of movie villains, and it was going on for weeks and weeks. And then it just ran out of steam. The show got canceled there right before you revealed the winner.
The show, first of all, did not get canceled.
I'm sorry.
I quit doing the show, but
okay.
Just for the point of, and then the entire station went away 2 months later.
Yes.
Apparently, still reeling from my.
I don't think it's a coincidence. You know that you leave town and the station goes on.
Of course.
That happens when Ted McGinley leaves. It just goes away.
Yeah, that was the thing that really stands out to me off the top of my head about the movie villain tournament. Yeah, first of all, we got 1 million calls on that, right, Popeye? I mean, it was a station that no one was listening to, and it was supposed to be a sports show, and we were, and I said, who are the best movie villains of all time? We got tons of calls about it, and the thing that was shocking was after we seeded everything, you know, we had Johnny from Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, you know, Billy Zabka. He was in there, but he was only a 15 seed, and he was going up against who was he paired against there, Popeye? You remember who he was? Oh, from X-Men is who he was.
Magneto.
Magneto. And and it really started off a magical journey for Johnny against Magneto in the first round. Of course, Magneto can move metal. He was going to make quick work, but he is, but Magneto, played by Sir Ian McKellen, gay, smitten by the flaxen-haired, youthful good looks of Johnny, and before he knew it hit him, Johnny kicked his head clean off, if I remember correctly. And then Johnny just was pulling upset after upset, and he made it all the way to the Final Four, if I'm not mistaken. And
I believe so. No, I think he was facing the Predator in the semifinals there, in the Final Four.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have been able to defeat Predator as well. And then, and Vader was there. Yeah, that was, we never got to finish that one.
Who was the rest of the Final Four then?
Well, we actually have the other Final Four match. As an audience.
Really? Wow.
Yes, this will be great. Larry, do you have that clip ready?
Yes.
Okay, fire away.
Hold the phone. Zod is making a move for his pocket. What's he got there? Why, it looks like a photograph of some sort. It's a picture of a nude dame. Is that? It is. It's Natalie Portman, and she's naked as a jaybird. Portman, of course, played Queen Amidala, Vader's lover and mother of his children. Zod clearly trying to break Vader emotionally, and it's working. A single tear falls through the mask of the Sith Lord. This looks to be the end of Vader. The referee is stepping in. What's this hubbub? He's calling the fight. It appears, yes, he's disqualifying Zod. Mayhem reigns. Let's go into the ring to get the straight poop from the ref himself.
General Zod has violated Rule 3.6, subsection B. Combatants are prohibited from bringing any objects other than their own personal weapons into the ring. Therefore, at minute 244, your winner by disqualification, Darth Vader.
Shocking result, to say the least. Vader on to the final. General Zod to be put to death by way of kryptonite. Stunning, shocking, tragic, thrilling. Back to you, Dave.
Oh, there it is. The Darth Vader beat General Zod in the semifinals.
That was a shocker.
Yeah.
Wow, that was something. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a marathon fight. It went on forever. Because one's obviously strong with the Force, as strong as anyone ever, and then the other one's made of steel, General Zod. So how would anyone ever lose that fight? And then I guess we just found out that that's the reason. He showed a picture of Vader. Wonder what? He was about to kill Vader by making him swoon over Queen Amidala. Oh yeah. That was a great Final Four matchup, a classic. Not as good as Josh Hamilton. Not as good as the junkie Josh Hamilton hitting home runs in batting practice the other night.
No, it's not that good. But
hey, if that kid wouldn't have got disqualified, I bet you he would have won all the judges' scorecards and won by anonymous decision.
General Zod, you would have picked General Zod. Yeah, he probably would have won. But Dave, who was that announcer? Because that announcer was just wonderful.
Yeah, Marvin Sheldrake. Yeah, a real throwback to a better age of broadcasting. I really like that voice. Yeah.
Are we going to be hearing any more from Marvin Sheldrake? Because I'd like that guy's great. Why isn't he on the TV?
Yeah, it would be great to see. I don't know. Maybe he's a recluse. I'm not sure exactly what Marvin Sheldrake's story is there, but I'd stack him up there with Keith Jackson and Vince Scully as among Mike Lang among the all-time great broadcasters.
That's an old guy. That old guy is good though.
Yeah. Now the Ed, would General Zod, would he have been your pick to win the movie villain tournament?
You know something? I don't know nothing about comic books and crooks.
Yeah. That reminds me.
I collected baseball cards when I was a little boy. All the nerds did comic books and stuff. All the gay kids did. It was all.
Well, speaking of nerds and gay kids, it just happens that right now in LCS hockey, we're running a superhero tournament, much like the movie villain tournament. Yeah,
but you know what?
It is gay. It is.
Listen, it might be gay, but listen, did you know that the Dave is legal? His marriage is legal now in California? Yeah.
Dave married the Dick Banks. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a thing not too long ago about that.
That's just not true yet. I'm married to a woman and we have a child together, so that just doesn't make any sense.
That's what you say, but that's not what I read.
But I should mention that Cousin Brandon and I were talking about getting this superhero tournament. We started it on Dameshek.com, your message board, Dave, and we were getting this superhero tournament together. and we were trying to decide if women should be allowed in the tournament.
Of course not.
Yeah.
You don't think so yet, huh?
Yeah, because we were split right down the middle, and so I went to the wisest man I know, and I asked the Ed. And the Ed, do you remember what you said when I asked you if women should be allowed in the superhero tournament?
Of course not, I guess.
Yeah, you said no, because what do they know about flying and fighting tigers and stuff?
Who said that?
You did. And you said that, and I never even considered the ability to fight tigers as being a qualification to be in the tournament.
Well, I mean, that sounds like something that's true.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying it, but I mean, hey, I got to go with what I said. Because if I say something once, I'm going to say it twice.
Yeah, exactly. And wiser words are never spoken. So, yeah, if you want to get in on the superhero tournament, go to lcshockey.com and cast your votes.
Was it $5 to play?
No, it's free. And you can win prizes, the Ed, so why don't you should go over there and vote. You can win a T-shirt or something.
I need extra large on the shirt.
Yeah.
You always forget you have to participate and then win something. You can't just say I want a prize. You have to go and win something to get the prize. I think that's.
I just won. I just told him. I just won. He just told me. Is Mr. T in this superhero contest?
No, Mr. T did not make it. Although Mr. T was in the movie villain tournament as Clubber Lang, right?
No, you got to put him in the A team.
Lang, yeah, Clubber Lang.
A superhero.
Who beat Clubber Lang? I don't remember that. I do remember it was a great fight, though. I do remember that.
I think Clubber Lang defeated Darth Maul, right? If I recall correctly. And then I think Johnny from Karate Kid, did he beat Clubber Lang? Or?
That rings a bell, yes. I'm going to have to go back and look at my brackets and see how that worked out, too. And, oh, yeah, I remember also there was also a big upset with Dr. Zayas, right? Didn't Zayas it was flinging his own bowel movements at somebody. I remember that. And then they were flung back at him.
I know that occurred in the Zayas versus Johnny fight, and then I believe Johnny turned the tables on Zayas and flung the poo right back at him. And
right, that's what it was. Zayas threw the poop. He picked it right back. Take that,
right.
Zayas. Take that, you damn dirty ape. And he dirtied him, but good in the eyes, and then that was it for Zayas.
That's
right.
Yeah,
wow.
Johnny
it was really some ride to the Final Four. Right, right up there again with Villanova and NC State and George Mason.
And Josh Hamilton.
Well, who's the best superhero of all time?
Spider-Man?
It is interesting. So you're going to put women in there? You have Storm in there?
No, we have no women because the Ed said they can't fight tigers.
Well, that's
ISIS. You can put ISIS and Shazam in there.
Shazam is in the tournament. Shazam is in the tournament.
Now, I forget, did Aquaman end up qualifying or no?
Yes, Aquaman's got a tough first-round matchup. He faces the Hulk in round 1.
Well, that should be a close match.
Aquaman better be a 16 seed. He can do no good out of the water.
Yes,
exactly right.
Aquaman is a 16 seed. He faces the Hulk in round 1. So it's gonna be rough.
Is this singles or tag team partner?
Singles.
The Wonder Twins, they could have been in it.
Yeah, but no broad. One of the twins was a broad.
R2D2 and C3PO, they could be in it.
They're not in it.
I don't think they counted as superheroes either.
Yeah.
They was out of this world, I know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were.
Literally. That figured it was correct.
Now, Brandon, it came up earlier. Well, you mentioned it actually in your poem about David Feeney. Now, would you be comfortable talking about David Feeney?
I have no beef with David Feeney. That's fine.
All right, because Dave, don't you think that would be like if you had to list the all-time greatest moments in sports contraption history?
No, I wouldn't, because I've always been upset by this.
Really?
So many people, including Dick Banks and millions of others who've weighed in about the sports contraption, about their favorite moments, always seem to say that David Feeney's poem about Brandon, twice she said, it was a thing. People say that's the greatest moment in history. What a slap in the face to me and to the end and to Popeye and everyone else. David Feeney rolls in there for a couple minutes, drops this poem on us, and now that's the greatest moment in the history of our show. Please.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not the greatest moment, but it's one of. I think you would agree with that, right?
So
one of.
Yes. No, I found it very entertaining. Actually.
All right. Well, it just so happens that I think Larry's got a clip. Larry.
Great.
It's called Twice
said, or the night I banged Brandon's wife. Love story. She told me to knock when I was outside their door. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. He was out watching Shrek the Third. He'd seen it before. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. I'm nervous, I whispered. You chain all the locks? Twice, she said. Twice, she said. He'll be going all night. Now unchain my lockbox. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. I could tell she had finished a bottle of wine. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. I then lifted up her skirt and uncorked her from behind. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. She first asked for my lips. She had one rebel mouth. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. Then I made like General Sherman and burned through her deep south. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. Then her kid came in the room. She told her to stay. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. Don't stop now, Tiger. She's your kid anyway. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. Brandon's picture was next to us. She wanted him to watch, too. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. He refuses to touch me. Now, come on, run me through. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. As she moaned and she screamed, she begged me to kill him. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. He only gets it up when writing a Dameshek poem. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. I told her that's murder. Ain't no dame worth jail. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. Then to teach her a lesson, I dumped it in her pail. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. I finished myself off, then gave her a 50 for sushi. Twice, she said. Twice, she said. And as I walked out the door, I said, dinner's on, Jim Belushi. Twice, she said.
Oh, there it is.
That is the greatest moment ever. That is the greatest poem I ever heard in my life.
Wow, that was.
It was like a song. That was like a song, like a symphony. You did that, Brandon? That was a good job, man. I'm proud of you.
No. Brandon was the target of that.
Yeah, that wasn't Brandon. Now, Brandon, how do you feel hearing that again?
I don't know what's wrong with that phone. That guy sounds like a funny guy, though.
Now, we should mention David Feeney is your buddy, Dave, right? And he writes for Jim Belushi on the According to Jim, correct?
That's right, yeah, as you can see, that's why that show is regarded as maybe the greatest show in the history of sitcoms.
Yeah, whenever I make an According to Jim joke on LCS, I always feel bad, since I know you have a connection to it, but I still go ahead and make the joke anyway. All right, but...
Yeah, so he came over, as a matter of fact, just last night he came by and we watched that All-Star game. I really wanted to turn it off, as a matter of fact. Who cares about the stupid All-Star game? 15
You didn't think it was pretty good, though? I thought it was some good
very
stuff.
entertaining. It was an entertaining game until you consider the fact that it's a virtually meaningless ball game. The thing that would have been great, though, the thing that would have been spectacular, is if Terry Francona, in the midst of a pennant race or in a divisional race with the Rays, had just in the 5th inning put Scott Kazmir in on 2 days rest and just said, you're going all day and all night and you're not out of the game. Hey, I'm the skip. What would anyone have done? Would Bud Selig have come? Would Bud Selig have descended from the box, or who would have done anything about that? Nope, I'm not taking Scott Kazmir out. I'm the skipper of the All-Star game. You can't tell me how to play my roster, and just keep playing him until he's burnt out and can no longer be effective for the Rays and clinch the division then for the Red Sox.
Well, I think Bud Selig died about 2 years ago, and no one told him yet. Who looks older? Who looks older, Bud Selig or Larry King? Yikes! Good Lord.
And by the way, have you noticed that that Bud Selig, I noticed out on the field after the game, standing next to Aaron Andrews. Which, by the way, I always like when you see something like that. You see Bud Selig and Aaron Andrews standing side by side, and it's interesting to consider that yes, those are the same species. That is the same animal. That's the same.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Hey, Dave.
Yes.
Do you think that pitch count thing's overrated?
The what?
The pitch count.
The pitch counts in baseball.
Oh no. No, not at all. I think on 2 days rest, the guy threw 100-something pitches. He's had injury troubles in the past. He's only
now people say that, so I'm thinking Nolan Ryan must have been the first one on the steroids and the HGH. Because that kid could pitch all the time. And look, he pitched till he was what, 64?
I think so.
And he threw hard as a rock every time. How come no one never investigated that guy for no steroids?
That's a good point.
Because all the Steelers was doing it in the 70s, and this kid was playing in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. Don't start with the Steelers.
But the Dave, he brings up a good point. Has it tarnished your sentiments for the old Steelers in the 70s that every offensive lineman was like on horse steroids?
Well, listen, it was a different time, and I don't remember. I was 5 at the time.
It's easy not to remember those things, huh?
Well, yeah, listen, you're an older man. When you were watching the games, everybody was on steroids. All the Lyle Alzado and John Matuzak, they both died from everybody in the league was on the juice. So I listen.
Oh, I don't believe all that stuff. Just they proved all the Steelers did it. Because listen, Terry Bradshaw's first year, he was awful. Take steroids next year, look, they start winning Super Bowls.
Well, I think it took a little longer than that.
I grew up in Pittsburgh. I didn't remember that he was bad his first year, and the second year they started winning Super Bowls.
They did it. You got to look up the books, man.
Yeah. Look up the book.
Yep, and Jack Lambert and Jack Hams.
Okay.
All those guys. You see how big Jack Ham was?
Yeah.
He wasn't that big.
167 pounds. They was all on it. They was all on that stuff.
Well, the Dave, since twice you don't want to give Twice You Said the credit as the greatest moment in sports contraption history. What would be some of the moments that popped to your head right away? As like true highlights?
I always did. Brandon was huge on the show.
Yes. Yeah, we should talk. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Brandon did a lot for you on that show.
We were dependent on Brandon in a lot of ways. We had Brandon in all the time. He would do the music reviews. He would do his reviews of Lost, and and then the poems were always great. So that was big. Feeney would sit in. It seemed like once a week at least. That was always fun. And Twice She Said, all right, it ranks. It's top 2 or 3. I think I got to say my favorite thing was, even though it's I know you got a little emotional about it earlier tonight, Ed, but so I don't want it to be a bittersweet thing. But when the baby got left with you, those 2 weeks. It really was, I don't want to laugh at it, but it was very entertaining to me that there was a 6-month-old baby who got left with you and you were feeding it salsa and donuts and such. I for some reason found that very, very interesting. So that would rank for me. Yeah, listen, we pretty much covered all the things that were great. With we forgot to mention the Hog was always great.
Yeah, I wanted to mention the Hog. Tell people about the Hog and what he did on the show.
The Hog, he was, he's a great frat dude. He's one of those classic, the stereotypical frat dude kind of a guy. But for some reason he was obsessed with reality TV, so he would come on the Hog and tell us all about the week in reality TV shows, break down The Bachelor for us and stuff. We had the Sheepdog who used to come on.
The Sheepdog was great.
Gay as the day is long, the Sheepdog. Just this gay guy. He loves to talk. He lives out in Hollywood, so he loves to gossip about what's going down. All the hottest stuff between Brangelina and Brittany and so on and so forth. So I always like talking to him.
I wish we had a Sheepdog clip. We don't, but he was so excitable all the time. He was always
flamboyant was the word I was looking for.
Move over, Stephen Kojikaru, right? I mean, he was just a catty bitch all the time about, you never wanted to wind up in his crosshairs.
He was like a gay person.
Yeah, exactly right, Ed. Ed cuts right to the heart of it. But, Dave, have you heard from the Sheepdog? Like, what's he been doing lately?
Sure, I see the Sheepdog from time to time. He always is, sometimes he asks me if I want to go out clubbing. He wants to introduce me to some special friends. It's just not my thing. His lifestyle. I encourage. I am fine with it for him. But yeah. So yeah, he's always out trying to get the scoop on what the latest relationship news is in Hollywood. I always loved Uncle Mike coming on the show.
Yes,
one of the most knowledgeable sports guys.
Sure. Yeah.
It really is as knowledgeable a Pittsburgh sports fan as there is, and he would join us all the time. That was always fun. That was, I guess, the most fun thing too. Always, whether it was Brandon or Uncle Mike or my sister, always hard up for a date.
You tried to set up your sister with regular caller Josh from Butler. Not to be confused with Josh D. Butler.
Was great. It really was. But it was having all my friends and family on all the time. What what spectacular performances out of these people on a regular basis. To just say, no one's listening. Let's get a show going, and we'll put all our favorite people on the radio, and for them to all be spectacular. Everybody funny and entertaining, and that was the best part of the show, I thought.
I don't know if you mentioned two others, but Richie and Irv were fantastic.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
and then
Irv were always good.
And just a great caller was Elaine, the cab driver.
She came up earlier. She was unbelievable.
Oh, did she? Oh, she was.
She was really good. We should say that Richie and Irv are the Pittsburgh Pirates correspondents. They were reporters.
Exactly, yes. Richie and Irv, and
it was great hearing them because they were just fans, you know. And that's what I liked about the sports contraption, Dave. I hope you take this as a compliment, but you're not. You're just a fan, you know. That's the way I always saw it. You weren't trying to be a journalist, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the root of LCS. When we started LCS, we were just talking to fans. We didn't want to be journalists. We just wanted to write about hockey and talk hockey. And so that's why I had that connection right away when I heard your show. So I'm like, oh, this guy's just like us. And that's what I like about Richie and Irv. They were just guys talking about the Pirates. You know?
That's exactly, yeah. And by the way, I've done it since doing the show out here. You know, you go into some of these locker rooms. It's really to desire doing this for a living. You'd have to be crazy. These steamy locker rooms with men half naked or completely naked, asking them questions about how are you going to break a 3-game losing streak in the locker room. There's no fun in that at all. It's better to have some distance from them so you can just recklessly speculate about what's wrong with them rather than hearing it from the horse's mouth. That was always my philosophy. Much easier, lazier way to go is to just sit back and never actually interact with these guys, but just make stuff up about what their problems are.
Oh, absolutely.
Can I chime in with a question real quick in relation to that? So who have you met in the locker room that you could just tell is most hateful towards a journalist? Like, who really dislikes?
Well, the reputation of Jeff Kent is Jeff Kent. Jeff Kent literally said, we were talking to him about Valentine's Day. And you know, what would he do if I were his lady? How would he treat me for Valentine's Day? And he said, just so you know, I don't go in for silly radio bits. To be that self-aware that you're a jerk, you know, to announce like, hey, I have absolutely no sense of humor, just so you know.
But Dave, I find that. Yeah, I find that shocking because when Jeff Kent came on your show there in L.A., he was just wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know what the story was that day. Yeah, I mean, I was nervous when he did join us, right? But he ended up, he had made Juan Pierre had made a mistake in the 9th inning the night before, and he had baked some blondies and everything. It was a different side of Jeff Kent. You're right about that. But for the most part, the best guys are Popeye. Actually, it is a funny thing that now we talk to Torrey Hunter and guys like that, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and everything else. But at the time, in 3 months, Popeye got us. We had who did we have? We had John Van Benscoten, and we had who else? We had Neil Walker and Andrew McCutcheon. So we had a couple of minor leaguers.
You had another pitcher, Shane Yeoman. Shane Yeoman.
Yeah, Shane Yeoman. The night that was your best yet, Popeye. His first major league win, and we said, well, this is the start of something. What a thing! And if I remember saying something to the effect of Shane Yeoman, even if you never have another major league victory, at least you will always be able to say you did win one game in the bigs. And it does look like that was a prescient remark because it looks like that is going to be his one and only career victory. So that was what a special occasion. We talked to the guy, but then also talking to actually the best things we did. We talked to Rocky Blyer and Dwight White. Those were the two.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. And by the way, talking about those steel curtain statues outside of Heinz Field. The way they both went gaga for it was something like, hey, I love that idea. Whatever I can do to help you out with that. That's a great idea. I really do say a year later that if a year removed from the sports contraption, I bet you that about 2 years from now, that was always my thing, Popeye. Didn't I always say, I bet you that if we stick with this, 2 or 3 years from now, those statues will get built. Because what's the downside to it? Now, what Pittsburgh fan would ever say, yeah, no, I don't like that idea. No, I don't like the idea of having statues of the Steel Curtain, the original front four of the Steel Curtain, outside of Heinz Field. It eventually would have happened, especially with Rocky Blyer and Dwight White behind it. Yeah, those were the two best interviews we had.
Oh, well, Popeye, we're still in town. Should we pick up the cause?
I think we should, fellas.
Yes. Please do. Absolutely, yeah.
How many signatures did you get?
All right, well, we'll see what we can do, Dave. We'll try and...
Popeye, how many signatures did we get on that petition?
Oh, I was thinking, wasn't it up near 600?
Something like that, yeah. That was a righteous cause, if there ever was one. I really like that.
And you think after the unfortunate passing of Dwight White, it would get more momentum to build the statues,
Right.
Yeah, you think it's like the Beatles. 2 out of 4 are gone now.
Yeah.
We really only had 4 people listening to the show, and to have 600 people sign the petition is just amazing.
That was remarkable.
Yeah, right.
Now, Popeye, what other moments in the Contraption history stood out for you? Anything? Well, I know last time we talked, because Popeye's been on the show before, I think you brought up the night that David Feeney had that broad with him. What was her name?
Rory.
Yeah.
Well, by the way,
Love Connection is definitely one of my top moments. I mean, for God knows what reason, she was so adamant about not playing along at the little fake date that we had set up with a caller. It just got absurd, and it was radio gold, but it was good stuff. David Feeney ended up going on a date with caller David. And actually, it was just I just listened to this segment the other day, and it definitely is relevant and humorous today.
And a couple of points about that. First of all, that Rory was in fact pretty foxy, and 2, she is now a multi-millionaire.
Really?
Yeah. If you recall, at the time she was talking about her little red book, which was called Skinny Bitch. It was for. Vegans or something, I think is what it was. It was a way to live the vegan lifestyle kind of thing. And 6 or 8 weeks after she was on the show with us, it blew up, the book. I mean, like all sorts of celebrities started reading it. She's been on all sorts of talk shows, the Today Show, Ellen DeGeneres, and all those kind of things. And is, as I say, a multi-millionaire now. Has her second book deal, has a second book deal and everything else. But that night, she was so upset that we kept trying to make her go on a blind date with somebody on the radio, with one of the callers, that she and David Feeney drove in front of me as we left because we were going to a ball game. We had to drop her off, and then we were going to go to a ball game that night. I could see her. It's not like their boyfriend or girlfriend or anything. She's sitting in the passenger seat, wagging her finger and screaming at him. I could see it. I could see it right in front of him. And so I kept calling him on the cell phone. I kept calling him, and he wouldn't answer it. But he knew it was me calling him. And she was livid, yelling at him. And she apparently, a year later, David Feeney is not allowed to mention my name in front of him because he ended up rolling over on me to get back in her good graces. Well, it wasn't me. It was Dameshek's show that happened on, so don't blame me for it. And so now they're good again, but I'm on the I'm not. My name can't be spoken in her presence.
Well, then her name of her book must have been the right thing, huh?
That's exactly right, Ed. That's exactly.
That would have been magic if you could have set up the Rory there with the Ed on the board.
They would be a perfect duo. You'd be a vegan, right, the Ed?
A what?
A vegan. Forget about the hot dogs and hamburgers. This is good. Eating a healthy lifestyle. No meat.
Now, that's ridiculous. I don't know why people would go and not eat meat and stuff like that. Because, I mean, if you don't have that, you're not going to have no vegetables.
Yeah, well, I have to admit, I am a vegan.
Is that true?
yeah, absolutely. I was a vegan. I was a vegan for like 10 years, and then I had to give it up like 3 years ago because I was having all sorts of health problems. I wonder why.
Listen, you're getting me worried, man. You don't eat meat, and you hockey and comic books. This not adding up right.
That's not a good combination, is it?
I'm not
Vegan,
sure.
hockey, and comic books. It's trouble. But, yeah, so now I'm back being a vegan just like 6 weeks ago, or not even, like maybe a month ago I switched back to being a vegan. Yeah.
Hey,
So
by
what
the
did
way,
you do for those 3 years?
so
I was eating organic turkey and organic chicken.
well, I hear, by the
I
way,
just eat a picture of a turkey.
Were you one of those guys then who, like Rory, just didn't wash herself, or you?
No.
That was her thing. She didn't, because it was the whole thing. It was a very pure natural lifestyle. She didn't she didn't use deodorant. She didn't use perfumed soaps or anything. Yeah, she would just rinse herself.
She was foxy nonetheless.
Yeah.
Did she look like a homeless woman, or?
She looked good, but yeah, apparently if you got too close, it wasn't very good.
Hey, listen, the Dave, listen. How much would it take if I give you $5,000? Would you make it with a homeless woman? Out here taking a bath?
Hey, you got the $5,000.
He
She
does.
couldn't take a bath
She can't take no bath, though. Would you do it?
for 5 large?
Yeah. Come
What
on,
do I
dude.
have to do? When you say that, what do I have to do?
Oh, that's true.
Second base, is that enough, or I gotta go all the way?
But Dave, we were talking the ladies with the Ed a couple weeks ago, and we were trying to figure out the ugliest woman on TV. And
Oh yeah, you gotta hear this. Let me ask Dave real quick. Listen, Dave, who is better looking, Sarah Parker Jessica or Miss Jane from Beverly Hillbillies? Who's better looking?
It's a dead heat. Wow, no winners.
Exactly.
Now.
Exactly.
No matter who wins, we lose, just like the Predator.
Yeah. They said Miss Jane was better looking. These kids is outrageous.
What about Miss B?
Well,
Aunt B is one of the ugliest TV people of all time.
I'll tell you who else I'm with. You know, I was always with on more levels than one. One of my favorite TV characters of all time, Mr. Roper. I was with him. His wife was just awful. Just
yeah, we were talking about that.
I liked her. She was kind of spunky. You know what? I could see her in a whirlpool with me at night.
Or what about, you also had, definitely should be in the running, is, for at least for a woman who got around quite a bit, was, if you remember from Alice, Flo. I mean, she was the trailer.
I didn't say name the hottest women of all time.
Oh, I must be confused then. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
Well,
how about Carla from Cheers? Did she get that?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
She was on there.
But the Ed came down between Aunt B and the mother from Good Times. They were the...
Florida? Really?
Yeah, Florida.
If you painted Aunt B black, she'd look just like her. They look the same. It was just awful. Just awful.
I can't disagree with you, Ed.
Well, what about the other one you said, Esther from Sanford and Son, right?
Yeah, she used to be a stripper in St. Louis. Can you believe that? That's a true story. That's how Red Fox met her. She was a stripper in St. Louis.
Is that right?
I wouldn't give her 2 nickels.
Oh, by the way, we forgot to ask you last week, the Ed was in Vegas, and he told us that he likes to go to a strip club with handicapped strippers, right, yeah?
Yeah,
that's
not no more. It's closed down.
Oh, they closed it down.
Yeah, I tried to find it.
Like handicapped in what way?
One girl got one leg, and they hop around on her legs. She took her shirt off, though. The other girl in a wheelchair, and she roll right up on you and shake around, and, you know, they got one girl with no arms.
Well, how did she get naked, the Ed? Hello? The Ed? How does she get naked then if she has no arms? I don't know.
I don't know how she does it. She got to wear some kind of slip.
But the Ed said they would throw change up on the stage instead of dollar bills, right? And then, I thought the Ed's been great to have on the show.
They took it all. They took, you know, the lady had the little thing that squirt out the quarters. right on her thing. And she go, you need change for $1? I said, yep. And she'll give it. You get 4 quarters for $1.
So the Ed's been a big star here on the LCS podcast. And,
he's been on like 5 weeks in a row or 6 weeks in a row, huh? The Ed?
Fantastic, and he's you know I've been keeping tabs on the Dameshek.com message board there. Oh, and by the way, so who will be listening to this? The 5 of us will go back and listen to it.
That'll be about it. on a good night, because I don't even know if I'm going to listen to it.
But it does seem like a lot of people go back and have been listening to it from the stuff I've read there. But I got to start one of these of my own. This would be this seems like a lot of fun. This podcast.
It's great because you can just say whatever you want, and what are they going to do? You know?
Yeah, really. It's a lot of fun. Fantastic. And believe it or not, we've gone 2 hours now.
I know. We got to wrap it up. I can't thank you enough for coming on, Dave.
Oh, sure thing. See what an empty life I lead out here in exciting LA. We're in 2 hours talking about a radio show that no one heard that was on for 3 months, except for the 5 of us are the only people who ever heard it. But
the Sports Contraption, once again, it was the best radio show I've ever heard.
The Dave.
Yes, he is.
I'll be at the Fox Hills Mall tomorrow about 11 o'clock. I got to go shopping. Listen, I want to let everybody know this is true. There's only about 200 more shoplifting days till Christmas.
All right, Ed. Well, we'll let you go now, Ed, so you can get started on shoplifting. Thank you so much for calling, and I'll be in touch, Ed. Thank you so much.
You guys be good, and don't let nobody talk bad about you, and don't, kick nobody. And take a good night's sleep. Bye-bye.
Hey, Ed, and I'll be back on the radio next Monday, so I hope we'll hear from you over there in L.A.
Nah, she ain't gonna let me on, so.
All right, well, we'll see.
But I'll try to call you, and if not, I'll put out a signal for you.
Okay, terrific.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, maybe we'll see each other at the Fox Hills Mall tomorrow.
Yes.
My ear's burning. I gotta go. My ear's too burning on.
It's been a long show.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed. There goes the Ed. And Cousin Brandon, you're wonderful as always. Dave, I don't know, Cousin Brandon's been helping us out on the show as well, doing top 11 lists with us.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic. And, and what a marvelous poem tonight, really. Fan of work out of them, as usual.
Yeah, thanks again. I've been somewhat lax the last few weeks, and they've been quite accommodating. My work schedule has not allowed me to come on, but I will return in full force, I promise you. So,
hey, we're thinking about Larry's booing. But we were thinking about doing a special show on Saturday because Larry's going to go see the big new Batman movie, right, Larry?
Oh, I'm excited. Very excited.
I want to go myself on. I want to go see a Friday matinee since I've got this week off. I'd love to do that myself. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. That's going to be spectacular, right?
I think we're going to do a special Saturday show, and Larry's going to review it for us, and then we're going to do top 11 Batman villains. I think so.
Wow, that's awesome.
I would be quite interested in that. That's a great
King Cut.
Yeah, don't ruin it, Dave. Don't ruin it. But if you guys want to call and get in on the top 11 action, feel free, Brandon. You ain't calling.
Perhaps I will. And I do want to just say there was a timely comment by the Ed telling him he put out a signal for Dave. I couldn't help but thinking what his bat signal might look like.
A bottle or ripple.
That'd be awesome. All right, Brandon. Give us a call. I think Saturday at 8. I think we're doing it, right, Larry?
That is correct.
All right, so if you feel like calling Brandon, feel free.
Okay,
or otherwise,
I will do my best to do so. But you gentlemen have a nice evening. Dave, take care. Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thanks so much. All right, all the best.
There he is.
Bye now.
And Popeye, you still there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Popeye, just thank you so much for coming on again, Popeye, and organizing everything like you did. And you're always welcome here. Great job, buddy.
Well, I appreciate it, gentlemen. You guys are, I told you before, and I'll say it again. You're doing God's work here. And,
it's for the kids. It's for the kids.
Please, just, keep the faith, keep it strong, and I definitely will make many more return appearances because you guys know how to treat guests good. So.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, Popeye, you want to get on the Batman action? Feel free to call.
Hey, Popeye, by the way, Popeye, this thing about you sound like, you know how to treat guests right. Where else have you been a guest? Among the myriad radio shows that I've guested on, you guys really are right up there. You're in my top 10 for sure.
Well, if they're the only one, then they have to be up there, right?
All right, good point. Good point.
Popeye, Dave, I don't know if you know this, but Popeye, the first time he was on, he told us he used to make robots when he was back in school, like in 3rd grade or something. He was in USA Today for making a robot.
Is that right?
No, he was on the USA Channel.
Wait, what was it, Popeye?
It was the Kids in a Minute segment on the USA Network.
Oh,
Yeah, I did make a robot in 3rd grade. Correct.
Wow, certainly one of the sweetest fellows around, Popeye.
Sadly, we probably would have gotten around to that on the contraption.
I know, we definitely would have. That was, Popeye, that was, but I know we're wrapping up, but the one thing I'll say is that was always the one good thing about Popeye. I was all over him, you know, I was verbally abusive to him, and then about the, 4th or 5th week, as Popeye was really rounding into shape of realizing that I was going to be beating him up on the show quite a bit and stuff. And he was getting better and better every show with, all the different production and all the different stuff. And I was disparaging him still. And Popeye said, Dave, really sheepishly, Dave, my friends and family really are having a hard time listening to the show because you're so mean to me all the time. And could you tone that down a little bit? And I said, no, I can't tone that down. That shows what a sweetheart he is.
I have friends and family that considered putting a hit out on Dave, and I didn't want to see anything like that happen. So I needed that to.
Maybe you should have called the Ed Son. The Ed Son might have done it for you, you know.
Yeah, no, that was frightening. Him and I are. The Ed and I are on good terms, but I've yet to see his son again after I lost him there down in Homestead.
But it was just great having you and Dave together because it was like Sonny and Cher being back together. Remember when they reunited on Letterman that night?
Yeah.
It was awesome. And
Popeye, I got you, Popeye. Listen, I said it before, Popeye, after all, fancy L.A. and everything else, Popeye's still one of the most talented fellas that I've worked with. So he's and a sweet fella as well. Just a little bit of a wuss. Can't take.
God bless you, Dave Dameshek.
Yeah, but you remember all those hot broads you was running around with in the paparazzi?
That's right, the paparazzi. That's exactly right.
B. Arthur and.
Well, listen, Del, I enjoyed this sufficiently. I really we gotta kibitz. Let's get a nice podcast going, and some sort of a separate website thing going.
We're here to help, buddy. We got your back.
Anything you need, pictures of dynamite and everything else. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. But wonderful time, fellas. Wonderful time. But I as you can tell, though, like I said, I'm on vacation. I'm also on vacation from being funny this week. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're great. I can't thank you enough for spending the whole 2 hours. That's a long time, 2 hours. But it flew right by, didn't it?
It was wonderful. Just wonderful.
Well, there it is. Dave, thanks so much. Have a good enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Thank you much, and
we'll be in touch.
Larry, wonderful to meet you over the telephone. Al, nice to finally speak with you, and Popeye. I'm sure we'll be yapping at some point soon.
Absolutely, gentlemen. Take care. Thank you so much.
You might want to hang on the phone. If Larry can play the closing song, I think you might enjoy the closing song.
Yes.
But thanks, Popeye. Thanks, Dave. Thanks everybody for listening. Big Sports Contraption reunion. We'll keep hope alive that the Sports Contraption will one day return to its former glory.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible. All right, Larry, sign us off.
Ding it, E1.
All right. We'll be back Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Tune in then. Till then, pass the gin, Governor.